we are going back, boys. I believe it was around August last year, 2021. I did my very first Magic the Gathering deck tech video. It was for my main deck that I named Elder Growth. It was named after Dungrove Elder, Elder Gargaroth, the combination of Season of Growth and Giant Growth. The idea behind the deck was that any of my cards that targeted effectively became cantrips because Season of Growth would make it so that any card that I used to target one of my creatures let me draw. I fundamentally mistook that as advantage instead of just, cantripping, so I ultimately reworked the deck many times. If you go back and watch that video and look at the comments, I actually tried updating the deck list, anytime I would make changes. And eventually I got tired of trying to update it throughout all the changes I was making, so instead I just decided I would remake the video. Gives me more content to make, gives you guys more content to watch, it's a win-win. But no, the deck has fundamentally changed. There's no more Season of Growth. It's not about cantripping or anything like that. It's just a lot more competitive and focused, and I just really want to show it. So I'm going to do that today. Got the same deck box. I think actually the last time I showed this, I had the old sleeves. Maybe not. I don't remember. That was so long ago. But here we are. So let's just do it. So to begin, I have 22 lands in here. They are all basic forests. That's just the way I grew up playing the deck, playing the game, really. I've kind of evolved past that, but this deck still functions, with just green mana, so there's no real need to deviate from that. So, I just have 22 basic forests, all with different art. I have different different art of each forest in here. It's all ones that I really like. So I'll just show them briefly. Some of these I don't even remember getting, but all different art, all glorious art. I was not counting, but I'm hoping that was 22 because there should be 22 in here. So yep, 22 basic forests. Now to begin with the actual deck, first thing of note is that unfortunately my boy Llanowar Elves is no longer with us. Had to upgrade to Noble Hierarch. This deck is mono green, so there is no need for the ability to ramp into any of the Bant colors. However, the Exalted ability really, I didn't think it would come up much, but it has come up, and I play with this deck on Magic Online, and the Exalted ability does trigger whenever you attack with one creature. That creature gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn, so yeah, that does trigger a lot. Had to switch out my boys for Noble Hierarch just to make the deck more consistent, and I like what Noble Hierarch has done for the deck so far, so yeah, shout out to Noble Hierarch. And we got another 1-drop. This is Hexdrinker, a mythic from Modern Horizons. It's a 1 mana 2/1 naturally. However, you can pay 1 colorless mana to level it up. You can level up only as a sorcery, but as soon as it hits level 3, its power becomes 4/4 instead of 2/1, as well as gaining protection from instants. And then once you get it up to level 8, it has 6/6 and protection from everything. Protection from everything means it cannot be blocked, period. And it can't be targeted, period. There might be more, but that's pretty much what it means. So if I have a lot of excess mana that I can pump into it, it gets nice value. Otherwise, it's just a nice, solid 1-drop. And, I have 4 copies of Snakeskin Veil. I think I also had this in the original iteration. Yeah, just a 1 mana instant that temporarily gives a creature control hexproof until the end of the turn, so if they have spell removal, they try to get rid of it, cancels it out, and it gives your creature a +1/+1 counter. I thought about swapping that out for a new card in Kamigawa called Tamio's Safekeeping, which also gives your creature indestructible, which is nice versus board wipes, because this doesn't protect versus that, obviously. But I have another card in my sideboard that is specifically for board wipe protection, so I still got a Snakeskin in there because that 1/1 counter can be very nice. Now we got 4 copies of Werewolf Pack Leader, the go-to 2-drop. 2 mana, 3/3 with crazy upside. Pack Tactics: if you attack with a total of 6 power or greater, you draw a card. So like if you have 2 Werewolf Pack Leaders out, they're both 3/3, you attack with both of their Pack Tactics trigger, and you draw 2 cards. So very good value, and you can actually pump 4 more mana into it to give it 5 base power and trample until the end of the turn. So, you know, that can catch people off guard too, because a lot of people aren't even aware of that ability. They just know if you hit 6 power and attack with it, you draw a card for free. So very prime target for Lightning Bolt and just removal in general, because, you know, there's so much value there. So, yep, Werewolf Pack Leader, very nice card. Now we got some removal, Ram Through. Ram Through I know was in the original iteration of the deck. It's just a very good card. The fact that its instant speed is so good. You know, as soon as your opponent curves out, you can hit whatever they play, and your creatures, because they're so aggressively costed and have such push stats, you're likely going to just be able to overrun whatever creature they play, you know, as soon as it hits the field. So I've always loved Ram Through for that. And if your creature has trample, any excess damage, you know, hits the opponent. So that can also come in handy. But overall, just very good removal there, Ram Through. Now we got my boy, Dungrove Elder, favorite card in the game. 3 mana, hexproof, and its power and toughness are equal to the number of forest I control. So a ceiling of 22, not even bad, not bad. And the hexproof is, you know, very good value. Yeah, just Dungrove Elder, my favorite card, had to include it. I made a deck all about Dungrove Elder. That video got a lot more views than I expected, but in this, it's just a nice general 3 mana value. Yeah, not really much else to say there. Now we got another 3-drop creature. This is Gargaroth's Harbinger. This has very relevant protection from black, and when it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, however much damage you dealt, you look at that many cards from the top of your deck, reveal any creature or Gargaroth planeswalker from among them, and put it into your hand. So again, great value. It's got 4 power, 3 toughness. I suppose it's also bolt bait, but like I said, you know, I got Mana Dorks, I got Werewolf Pack Leader. I wasn't too worried about Gargaroth's Harbinger, you know, fulfill that role for me, because it is very nice value, allowing me to, you know, rip through my deck and get, you know, more of what I need. And speaking of the Gargaroth Planeswalker that the Harbinger mentioned, I have 3 copies of Gargaroth Unleashed. I believe in my original iteration I had 2, but I decided 3 is the way to go. 4 mana for 4 loyalty. You can +1 it to give one of your creatures +3/+3 and trample until the end of the turn, which is so good. You can -2 to get a 3/3 beast token, and you can -7, which I've never done. I've never gotten that to resolve, to get an emblem with, at the beginning of your end step, you may search your library for a creature card, put it onto the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. So I've never gotten that to resolve, but if it does, you know, it's kind of crazy. The games really don't last long enough for that to happen, so yeah, Gargaroth Unleashed, very good card. I love its ability to continuously, you know, pump my board, and very significant is the trample. Like Dungrove Elder, if he's pumped up to like 5/5, can pump him up to 8/8 with trample, just crazy good. And now we get to a 5-drop Elder Gargaroth, boys. Last time I only had 3 in here, but had to bump it up to 4 because Elder Gargaroth, it's too good. like what do I even need to say? 3 colorless, 2 green, 6/6, 5 mana, 6/6. We're already doing great. Vigilance, Reach, Trample. When it attacks or blocks, you can create a 3/3 beast token, gain 3 life, or draw a card. So yeah, huge value. It is susceptible to removal, but that's what my Snakeskin Veil's there for. Like I said, I think last time I had 3, but I bumped it up to 4 and kind of brought down the overall cost of my deck and made Elder Gargaroth the top of the curve. And having 4 in there just feels so right. Elder Gargaroth is so good. My second favorite card right after Dungrove Elder. I'm still naming the deck Elder Growth just because of these two. But I do have one more set of cards in the deck, and it is 3 copies of the Great Henge. This is a crazy card. It's crazy expensive, both in monetary value, which I'm not going to get into, but also mana-wise. 7 colorless, 2 green. However, it reduces the cost of itself based on the power of the most powerful creature you control. So let's say it's turn 4. My Dungrove Elder is at 4/4. This would become 3 colorless green. Not to mention, if my Gargaroth here can pump something, say that same scenario. My Dungrove Elder is at 4 power. I use this to give it 7 power. That reduces this to just simply costing 2 green mana. So you can play it for 2 green mana, and then you can tap it and get that 2 green mana right back. And whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on it and draw a card. Insane value. That's pretty much the deck in a nutshell, just crazy value. I have been playing with it on Magic Online, and a lot of the decks there are really quick, really competitive, but even there, this deck is able to compete and, perform very well. I'm very content with this deck. It is so close to being playable on Magic Arena. The only card missing... Oh, I'm sorry, there's 3 cards missing now because I switched Law Noir Elves out for Noble Hierarch. So there's 3 cards missing now. Noble Hierarch, which can easily be replaced by Law Noir Elves. I just lose out on the Exalted trigger. Hexdrinker is missing, and on my Arena version of this deck, I replaced that with Pelt Collector. But the big boy Dungrove Elder is missing on Magic Arena, so really no reason to ever play this deck on Magic Arena because no Dungrove Elder. So unfortunately, until Dungrove Elder ever gets onto Magic Arena, I will not be playing this deck on there, obviously. So I suppose if you guys really want it, I could play on Magic or online, but we'll see. Anyway, I just really wanted to show the updated version of this deck. It feels so much more consistent, competitive, concise, and I'm just very excited to show it. I'm just very excited to show my decks in general. I hope you guys like this series because I have plenty of decks, and I keep updating my old decks, so I'll always have more to show if you guys are willing to see it. So until then, thank you guys for watching, and have a good day, guys.